Hey everyone, and welcome to the Infinite Respawn podcast. I'm Chicken.
I'm Oak Tree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Baka.
So
What's
guys,
up?
how's it going? How is everyone?
I'm tired, but I'm good because went to the football game yesterday and then hung out afterwards, and so now I'm like
Tired is how I live my life these days.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what I just did. I will always be tired. It has become a constant.
Yeah.
I had a friend in town, so we ended up getting babysitter for all of our kids. And we all just went out, so weren't that good. So, what games has everybody been playing this week?
I'll save mine because I got a lot to say.
Mario Odyssey, Overwatch, and Heroes.
Mine
Awesome.
is always a very short, to the point list. The rest of
Yeah,
us are like, let
pretty
me
much.
expound upon all of these things.
I've been working a lot the past few weeks anyways, so
Well, that would make sense. That's true.
I haven't had much time, so rented Odyssey from work and been playing that since yesterday.
I gotta ask, you play with the Pro Controller or you play with the Joy-Cons?
The Joy-Con. I don't have a Pro Controller.
I gotcha. Do you play with them separated or do you put them on the little thing and play them?
On the little thing. This is pretty much how I keep my Switch.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. I
Play
got
a
it
lot
too.
on the go or just walking around.
I gotcha. I got Super Mario Odyssey too. I've been waiting for it. It was shipped out Saturday and got here Friday.
I know, it took
checked the mail
forever.
every single day trying to get it, but it finally came in and I've been playing it. I like to play with it free because just the little twitch of your hands, being able to kind of throw the hat or do the special thing or
Do
move
this
faster.
special thing.
There's a trick that I am like busting my ass to learn. It's
The hat jump.
Yes, I think I've got it down for the most part, but it's so tricky because you gotta make sure you throw the hat, you hold Y, while you're falling, you hit right to do the slam, and then you tap Y real quick so that you're holding Cappy out, and you'll dive and land on it and bounce off and go even further. So I got it down in slow-mo, but trying to do it on the fly, it's kind of I fall off or do some crazy shit, but for the most part, I'm getting it. That is a super cool trick. It looks really neat, too, if you can do it. It's
a hard trick to do. I've
I just
accidentally done it once. Accidentally. I was like, what did I just do? What just happened? Like, it was before I even knew it was a thing. And I'm sitting there playing. I'm like, what the hell did I just do? But it's cool.
Yeah,
like
definitely. I like the different like throw motions with just your hand. You could like flip up, you'll throw Cappy up, or you flip down and you'll throw him at like a buzzsaw straight forward, and you can kind of spin it, and he'll do a little spin around and whatnot. It's nice, fluid hand movements. It doesn't take that much, and it's I don't know. The Joy-Cons are really smart too. Like they know when you're just kind of like flicking it to throw the hat, but you do have to hold Y if you want Cappy to stay out there. But I really like it. It's a lot of fun. There's like no pressure to the game at all. You just kind of wander around these different zones looking for moons. That's it.
Baka's playing
There's just-
right now, aren't you?
No, I'm actually just trying to get something out from underneath my nail. It's bugging me.
Well,
I knew
would
his
be
Switch
playing
was on
too.
his desk, and I know how that's a temptation, so.
I would be playing too if I could. I have been
I
playing
don't
all
know
weekend.
what you're talking about, Griff.
Yeah, if I pulled mine out right now, I'd
But
make
see,
a bunch
it's
of
not
noise.
even on there.
Right now.
Says the city skylines lady.
Boo. But other than that, I've played Darksiders all week this week.
Yeah.
I'm almost done with it.
Man, you ran through that game. Jeez.
Like a bullet out of hell, literally, like a war out of hell, coming straight. I think today I'll finish it, if
Really?
I'm not
Good.
mistaken. I'm on the Dark Tower, and then tomorrow I can start Darksiders 2. And I might start doing day streams because I don't know how long this one is going to take me. And next week is Thanksgiving too, if I'm not
no,
mistaken.
it's not next week.
The week after.
Yeah.
Is it week after?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got 2 weeks to play through this. So yeah, we should be able to get this one done. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't remember this one too well. And
Darksiders
there's a lot
2?
more RPG mechanics and stuff to it.
Awesome.
So
Well, you've
No,
been
that's
doing
all
a
I've
really
been
good
playing.
job. And I mean, we were talking about it while he was streaming, just thinking about like the voice actors that they got for the first game are huge because you've got Liam O'Brien as War, and you've got people like J.B. Blanc's in the game, Phil Lamar's in the game, Fred Tatascaro, I always have trouble saying his name, but he's like, they're names that you may not recognize, but when you start looking at their IMDb pages, yeah, Mark Hamill's in it, which is a name that you will recognize. He's the Watcher. But I mean, like, you start looking at IMDb pages, you're like, oh, Soldier 76 is in this. Oh, Hermes from Futurama is in this. Like, all of this stuff, you're like, oh, wow. Troy Baker's in it, too. I mean...
Like, they got big actors for that one. Darksiders 2, what I read, I don't know, it was a rumor or whatnot, but the budget for that one was $50 million, which I don't know if that's entirely true, but I mean, it's a big fucking game, and I don't know if it had as many prominent voice actors as the first one did. But
they reused a lot of voice actors because you see a lot of the same characters.
Yeah. But yeah, excited to finish that one up, and then after all these years, finally, to play Darksiders 3.
Finally.
It's already ordered. It's ready. It's gonna play for as soon as it comes out. I'm gonna play it.
You have it on Steam, right? You pre-ordered it on Steam. Okay.
All 5 of them on Steam.
All 5 of them.
Darksiders War Mastered Edition, Darksiders 2, Darksiders Definitive Edition, and Darksiders 3. All 5 of them.
Okay, touche.
5 games, 2 sequels. I guess, I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You should go through the Legacy of Kain series at some point.
Is it on Steam too?
I don't know. But
I think originally it was PlayStation 2.
Well, they two of them are PlayStation 1. Then the other 3 are PlayStation 2.
Gotcha.
They could be on GOG.
Yeah, I was gonna say you may want to try.
Yeah, I'll try. I have GOG, the little GOG client
launcher.
Right there.
Everything's got a client everywhere. Clients everywhere.
GOG Galaxy.
Yeah, GOG Galaxy. Wait, isn't it? Oh yeah, good old Games Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was also waiting on a game to come in through GameFly because I am now playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Yay. Part of me is really sad that I didn't finish the first one because I know some of these characters were, if not mentioned, actually show up in Red Dead Redemption, which is, this 2 is a prequel to that, which is why you're seeing so much crossover, of course, but part of me is okay with it because I don't know what happens in the first Red Dead Redemption, so I don't know exactly what to expect from this one, which is good. But honestly, I will not even lie to you. This whole game for me is about the horses. Fight me.
I would have never have guessed that at all.
Yeah, if you've been to my Twitter lately, like that's
you're like the third person that's like that. Like, there's a lady who came in at work that was the same way, and one of the employees at work is like, oh yeah, all I do is go around and try to collect all the horses.
Well, see, you can only stable 4. And you can have 1 that you ride and then 3 in the stables, and that's it. Like, that's all you can keep. So, my plan is to pick out the ones that I really want and, like, it early so that I know what I'm looking for. And I read conflicting things. Like, it was Polygon and Kotaku had very conflicting ones, and I can't remember which side was which. But one of them was like, oh, you can just get your starting horse. It'll be fine for the whole game. Don't worry about it until, don't worry about getting other ones until you get to your elite horses. Because your stats and everything, all that's fine. Just stick with your main horse. It's good. And then the other one's like, don't worry about your main horse because it's terrible. You'll need to look into getting a new one soon. It's like, they're sending some real mixed signals here, you guys. And then, like, everybody's got...
Maybe they didn't like the starter one and wanted a different color.
The starter one's cute. It has, like, it's brown with white spots, and on its butt, it's got one spot that comes up and looks like an arrow. So I have named it Arrow. Because I'm super imaginative. But then there was one that had been standing in camp next to my horse, which is a Tennessee Walker. That's what you get. But the one standing next to it was this big giant Shire horse that's like, I mean, Arthur's head comes up to this horse's shoulders. It's huge. And I'm like, how do I get this thing? How do I get this thing? And finally one guy's like, oh, put your saddle on this horse. I'm going to take it and sell it. And I'm like, you're going to sell it? To me. And the guy's like, just take it to this barn over here and you can sell it. And so it asked me if I wanted to sell it or stable it, and I was like, I've been watching this horse since the beginning of the game. Stable? And then it made me buy another horse to ride on this mission, so I bought the $15 horse. And then sold it back. Sorry, other horse. But I needed the big one. So now I ride around in this giant draft horse, because it's a Shire, and they have a Belgian game, which is my dream horse in real life, so I'm going to find it. I don't care about anything that's happening in game. I really don't. It is all about the horses for me. People are like,
Have you even played any of the game?
Yes, I have.
I wonder if they're going to add in like a unicorn or something random like that in the game.
I don't know. And if it was GTA, I would say yes, because, I mean, Bigfoot. But I think with it being Red Dead, probably not. They're probably going to stick to the realism a little more than they did in GTA.
When and if it comes to PC, there will probably be plenty of unicorns.
Hello, mods.
Yes,
Yep.
tons of mods. There will probably
Leaves
be
a fiery
cars.
trail of rainbows behind.
Yes.
And I'm playing
Probably why
it
they wait.
I'm playing it on PS4 as opposed to, usually I play stuff like console games on Xbox, but I put both on the GameFly queue, and PS4 is the one that came. I don't know why my brain does this, and I'm probably the only person in the world that cannot correlate things like L1 and R1 being left and right bumper, because it's LB and RB on Xbox. So when it pops up, I always have this like stutter of, wait, which button is this? Oh, because I don't know. I don't know why I can't just immediately.
Well, it's your two worst things. One, you're number dyslexic, so it's got the numbers on it, and two, it's left and right, which you're left and right dyslexic too. So it's
I
like
guess that's
L1.
it.
It's like I don't know which one's L. I don't know which one's 1. Fuck it, I'll just push them all. Did
And
it work?
sometimes, like, you have similar control buttons. Like, I stopped to see what this lady wanted, because, like, GTA, it's got all these random things that you can stop and do. So I stopped to see what she wanted, and she's like, oh, my horse up and died, and I twisted my ankle. Can you give me a ride into town? I was like, okay, sure, get on my horse. And she's standing next to my horse as I'm having this conversation. Well, triangle button is to get on your horse. You know what else it's for? Apparently to choke the shit out of somebody. Because she was standing so close. I was like, yeah, I'll give you a ride. And immediately, like, lunged for her throat and threw her down. I was like, her ankle was fine, by the way. She got up and ran off so fast. She's good.
Yeah, because I think I think you kind of broke the game right there. It was like, wait a second. You choking out this old lady?
Is she
What
the
hell?
same lady that we see the video that gets ran over by the freaking deer as it comes running through?
I don't remember, to be honest. It was
Because
just some
it
lady.
sounds like the same thing that particular character was saying when she got run over by a deer. So I'm just wondering if this lady just has problems no matter what happens.
I just
Like this
didn't-
one character cannot survive.
I had no idea that that's what that button would do. And because it's my mount horse button, so I was like, I'm next to the horse, push the button. Okay, I'm strangling her. Okay. I mean, at least I didn't kill her. She ran off. She's fine. She's okay. Probably. Unless the deer ran her over, in which case, not my problem anymore.
Well, she ran off. Her ankle couldn't have been that bad. So.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously that was not true. She's fine. She ran off. She's okay.
That liar. She would have robbed you if you hadn't done that. That's what.
Oh,
I'm
that's
thinking.
happened too. Some guy was like, I need your help. I got off my horse. I'm like, this guy's going to try to rob me. And as soon as I walk up to him, he pulls out a gun. He's like, give me everything you got. So I shot him in the face. I was like, bitch, I got a gun too. You want to play this game? I'm armed. I look grizzled. Look at me. My dude's like filthy. Yeah. That's fun.
There's no customization on that, right? It's the same dude. Like.
Yeah, it's the same. You can change like his beard, his facial hairstyle, and you can put pomade in his hair. And there's a barber that I haven't been to yet, so you might be able to give him different haircuts. But yeah, same dude. So
Okay.
we'll have the base player character is the same. Arthur.
Fair enough. Sounds like fun though.
It is. It's fun. I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I would. So I'm actually legit sad that I have to go play Silent Hill after the show today because I want to go play more Red Dead. So.
With me, I played some Black Ops, played some more Sea of Thieves to try to get as many of the Lantern stuff done as I can before the Shrouded Spoils, I think, is the next one that's coming out. Before it comes out, so I did some Sea of Thieves on it. Also, I've picked up Diablo 3 crack on Switch, and so been playing that as well. And enjoying it, and it's amazing to me how well it translates between the television and the actual Switch itself, like the Switch screen, and trying to move all the stuff around. And then I started watching like an anime thing, and then I bought the game for it because, which was Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh.
So I bought the game for it, which is basically a fighting game. I mean, it's basically what it is. You got a little bit of a plot line that's based on the actual storyline from the show, and then It's basically a fighting game. And it's really fun to fight as Deanne because she's giant and she just punches the shit out of everything and stomps the fuck out of them. It's fantastic. I love it. So I played a little bit of that. But that's pretty much it. I didn't have a whole lot this week. Multiple games, just not a whole lot of content out of them.
I'm sorry I had so many stories. My bad.
No, you're fine. That's good, though. I mean, because you're the only one that's playing that right now.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing that we got through there. I guess we want to go back into the news, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I did mention Sea of Thieves. One of the things from Sea of Thieves is, of course, we've got the Shrouded Spoils. It's coming up next, which, according to some of the articles and stuff we read on it, means there's going to be some fog and some other stuff like that that's going to be involved. And so I'm interested to see where that goes. But today, at XO18, which is the Mexican game convention, which I didn't know was a thing until this week.
Didn't know it was a thing.
I think we
Sea of
mentioned
Thieves-
it last year too, where we're like, I don't know that this is a thing, and then it went right back under the radar.
Right?
Yeah.
So Sea of Thieves has decided to come up with a PvP mode that they're calling the Arena. Your regular mode is going to be called the Adventure. So Adventure would be PvE and the large amount that you're used to, and this is PvP mode, and it's kind of squished together, so it forces people to have to battle each other. And it looks like you do have gold and other things, like different missions that you normally would have, but it's set up for people that want to just blow the shit out of each other and be pirates, you know. And then your adventure mode will allow you to be able to relax a little bit more and build yourself up. But you're supposed to be able to build quicker to pirate legend, and it might get more people playing that were like, there's not enough to do. I prefer to just shooting people, but it's really hard to find people. And but it sounds like there's only one trading post. Based on the way that, it sounds like there's only the Sea Dogs Trading Company. So there's one. It just sounds like there's one tavern, but maybe there's multiple. But they did shrink the map, so I'm interested to see how that works. And I'm not a PvP person, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I would stick to the adventure.
I think,
in my opinion, I think it's going to divide the player base, which could end up being a problem. In my opinion, they should have just kind of expanded the main map and then kind of put like red flags in a certain area. Like once you enter this zone, it's all out war. It's like
All
a
bets
smaller
are off.
zone and whatnot. Yeah, like it's all out. You go in there to get into fights. So you're still part of the giant world. You just have like a designated area where you can kind of get in there and you're looking for a fight. It's kind of like the flags and whatnot where you can kind of put the skull over where you're like, come to me and I'll fight you.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of feels like it's like, all right, we're going to take the PvPers and PvEers and separate them.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see, because you could still technically just go ahead and beat the crap out of somebody if you wanted to.
Right.
You're like, yeah, I'm getting my ass owned in PvP, so I'm going to go pick on these guys, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's going to end up being.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm more of, I think what's going to happen based on the skeleton ships. And the fact that there are the forts and things like that, I think we're going to end up with more PvE elements to give those people that prefer the PvE that opportunity to go out there and play. And I think that you're going to have people that play both ways. Kind of like now, you have people that when they play Destiny, they'll go in and they'll play the main game of Destiny, but then they also have the opportunity to go in and play a traditional multiplayer type thing. And I feel like this is their multiplayer. But I am interested to see how they do the ships, because no one's going to be rolling a sloop that I know of in the middle of this thing, but it could happen.
Yeah.
I guess. But I mean, you would think a 3 to 4 man crew would be your minimum to go into it. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a very, very risky call to kind of do something like this. I like the idea of it, but I don't like how it's separated from the main world that they have going on.
I'm interested to see what the download is on this too, because I think the main game is up to like 40 gig or something now, and now you're going to add a smaller map. I mean, is this another 20 gig you're giving us, or So, but I did looking at the video that they have of it. It looks to me like they're even some of the barrels look different. Like they look like some of the chests and stuff, because one of them looked like they were running a barrel up of a top of a staff, and it could have been a chest, but the way it was sitting up there is look rounded. It didn't look squared off, and it looks like one of the bone chests that you would get. And so I'm very interested to see if they're changing some of those elements or not. Rumor has it, though, we are getting in the shroud. We're getting new cosmetics to add to the ship. So I'll be interested to see which ones those are and what options they have, and we get to decorate our ships a little bit more. So you don't have. I guess the only thing that would be what the wheels, the main mast. Yeah, like.
Can you change the lanterns yet to different lanterns?
No, you can't change the lantern, only the color.
Yeah, need to change the lantern. Kind of give like the spooky ghost type.
Yeah, because remember when we all got the Order of the Souls one, we're all like, why can't they all be like this?
I know, right? Just change them all out to look a little different. So yeah, the cannons too. The cannons, the lights, and the wheel need to be able to be changed to something different. Add more diversity among the ships.
Yeah, I think so. But that's pretty. I think it's going to be pretty awesome to see how the PvP, and if it brings more people back in, because you did lose a lot of people because they think the game's boring. Like you were really gung ho, but you got a lot of other things that you have to play, so that's kind of put on the back burner until they come out with a new update. In which case, you spend about a week playing it, and then you go back out. So I am interested to see if it does bring more people in that are interested in that PvP element. And then how many legends you get out of it, how fast somebody can move through that one from, let's say, 1 to 50 on each one. I just don't see it being that fast if everybody's killing you and taking your shit.
Depends on how much the rewards are, because it's similar to the WoW-based system where you have war mode and PvE mode, where if you want to level at a decent speed, you got to play in war mode just because you get more XP and whatnot. Yeah, it's rougher if you get killed, but still makes up for it.
For sure. What else we got?
Let's see.
Do you want to do all
3?
the? Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to do all the Xbox stuff, because that's Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, we can do the Xbox stuff.
All right. What else we got? So the Crackdown 3 thing, which is like that's an Oak thing. Like Oak is looking forward to Crackdown more than anybody that I know.
Mm-hmm. The original first 2 Crackdowns, of course, they had they were a lot of fun to play. It was almost superhero-like. It looks like Crackdown 3 is going to be set up very similar to that, but what was impressive with Crackdown 3 is the multiplayer mode that they've got to set up there. They showed us how the destruction works, which Battlefield, I think of Call of Duty and Battlefield. Battlefield is known for the destructive environments and things like that. And Crackdown 3 looks like it's going to be unbelievable. It looks digital. Everything looks digital based on the way that it's breaking apart and destroying. Everything looks like it's made out of glass. So I'm interested to see what that is. But the best part about all that is the fact that on February the 15th, so the week before my birthday, we get Crackdown 3, and I think the week after we have like 3 games that are coming out.
2 games. Remember, they moved
Anthem,
Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone got moved to April, right? So.
Yep.
So we've got Anthem. That'll be the week after, but I'll definitely be picking up.
You're going to be busy for those first 3 weeks because you got this one, then you got Anthem and Metro.
Yeah, Metro Exodus. Yeah.
All within like a week's time. Woo. Should be busy for a while.
Lots of games. Not enough time.
No shit.
Why can't we do this full time? Then I have all the time in the world. Then I'm searching for games.
Right, that would be nice.
Right?
Wish I had that problem.
So, other Microsoft news. Microsoft has actually acquired Obsidian and In Exile, which are RPG makers. You'll know Obsidian because Knights of the Old Republic 2 is how I know them originally. But yes, if you're a Fallout New Vegas fan, they did that one as well. And then, of course, South Park Stick of Truth.
And the Pillars of Eternity series.
Yeah, and so they've... I think that's good for them in the fact that... It's good for Microsoft in the fact that it's probably going to give them exclusive on some stuff, but it'll also give them some sales in other ways for the past stuff that Obsidian has. In Exile, not as well known. Wasteland 2, I think, is the one that most people would know them by. And then, of course, the recent Bard's Tale 4. I saw a lot of people playing it, but it didn't do too well. And from what I understand, it was a very well-made game, but there's a lot to it, so type deal. So it'll help them out as well, too, because the Wasteland 3, it looks like, was on the way, but it'll help them where they're not having to worry about, making sure that their employees can stick around based on the amount of money and stuff being brought in. So, because they kickstarted their stuff. So, good for Microsoft, expanding them even more. At E3 they let us know that they acquired Ninja Theory and a few others. The one that creates the Forza series and all that. So,
which I think is interesting because there's such a push for the multiplayer stuff right now, but acquiring a bunch of people that do RPG and whatnot insinuates that you're looking to make some full story single player things.
What I've seen is basically they're prepping up and getting ready for next gen. Like all of these companies that they're absorbing, they're looking to come back and win next gen because everybody knows the PlayStation is definitely the fucking top dog in this generation right here. They've got some of the bigger titles. They kind of know what they want. And
Xbox hurt themselves out of the gate, so
yeah, and they don't really have that many incredible single player game or incredible.
First party.
Yes, first party. Yeah, they don't have that many exclusive first parties. Hopefully next gen we can actually see the return of Fable, which would be absolutely incredible.
Which would make sense if you're bringing in some RPG club.
Yes. So yes, I mean I really want to see that. I don't expect to see. Let's see, 2013. 2020 is probably the earliest I will expect to see next gen be announced.
Yep, you're probably right.
Because that would be 7 years.
And that doesn't mean that that's when they're developing it. No, they're probably working on it right this second. It just we won't see anything about it
until they're ready to come out. I mean, I don't know what else they could. I don't know what they're going to call it.
I get more people to understand that because I get so many people at work who are like, well, I'm not going to buy a PS4 or an Xbox One because PS5 is coming out next year. It's like,
no, it's not.
No,
it's definitely not. They might announce it next year, but I wouldn't foresee it being released until like holidays of 2020.
Probably.
But technology is moving so fucking fast at this point that I wouldn't be surprised. Because I mean, it was 4 years between Xbox and Xbox 360. So I mean, just 4 years, and then from Xbox 360 to Xbox One, it was 8 years.
Well, and I think the advantage you have now.
Look at the with Xbox and Xbox 360. That was a different case, but if you look at all the other consoles, the Nintendo to Super Nintendo and all of them are 6, 7 years on average between each console.
Yeah.
But I think the advantage you have now too is with the Xbox One X as well as the PlayStation 4 Pro is the fact they did upgrade the original systems to get up to a particular point. And there's software changes to allow them to optimize some of these games to where we weren't able to before. It's one of the things I've said all the time, which is yes, PC gaming is ideal. That's where everybody wants to be. That's the benchmark they're setting at. But PC gaming needs console gaming because that's where all your optimization starts at. And now everything can be optimized at a different level quicker because we're having to put it on a certain way. And, if Nintendo would just give out what their magic secret is, that they can put everything on a fucking cartridge like this.
No shit. I mean, Super Mario Odyssey on this little thing, it's like, without installing anything, you go click, and then you start the fucking game, and you're ready to go. No lag time or anything.
Mm-hmm. That game's unreal. I was so impressed at how big that game is, and everything goes on, and it's on this little bitty fucking thing. I'm like, whatever.
Same thing with fucking Legend of Zelda. How the fuck, what kind of voodoo magic did they do to get that huge game onto that little cartridge?
They secretly went to the future, stole a bunch of tech, and then came back in time, so they have a better chance of winning console wars.
I would believe
Nintendo doesn't even fight the console wars anymore. They've set up their own country, and they have full open borders for everybody that wants to come and go. But everybody wants to come. Nobody really leaves. It's like, yeah, we like Nintendo. We're going to go live there. We have dual citizenship, but, I mean, it's almost like Canada, where you can kind of come in, have your dual citizenship, and live peacefully and happy. And have your Xbox, too.
That's too funny. Too funny.
What else we got?
That was all the Microsoft stuff, I believe.
Okay. I just figured, grouping stuff is a good idea. You mentioned
Well,
Nintendo. Do you want to talk about the Nintendo article?
Sure.
Okay.
We got a couple of those, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Is it two?
First one, basically, you now have YouTube on Switch. Boom, done. Which
because
Hulu?
Nintendo knows that we want to play on more than just our phones.
Yeah. Right?
You all have phones, don't you?
To be fair, they're the original ones that said that too. Just for the record, when they came out with the voice and whatnot, they're like, "Don't you guys have phones?"
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
And now Nintendo's like, maybe not.
Hulu was probably I think it was the only one that they've had up until this date that's of a streaming service of some sort. So YouTube is a very good addition, just because it is free. You have that variety that's available to you, and it's not set up for just television shows, of course. And I think it's brilliant. I think it sucks for me if my child ends up with YouTube on her Switch because she's addicted to YouTube. So, yeah, this is going to be fun. She doesn't need to know it's there. Hopefully the advertisement's not that big when it pops up.
Oh,
on
you know it's going to be.
YouTube. Yeah, no shit.
So she'd be like, what?
But apparently it runs really well. It's probably one of the better versions that they've put on the Nintendo console, so that's good looking forward. Now where's my Netflix? Hello, Netflix?
Well, Netflix was on past ones, which was what the other article was about, but Netflix has been on previous Nintendo stuff.
Yep,
Yes.
the Wii.
Yep. And that'll lead...
Maybe that's why they have to do, because the other, news is that they're going to, on January 31st, they're going to stop all of the streaming services to the Wii. So I wonder if it's a licensing thing where Nintendo could only license it to one platform. So they have to stop the Wii service and then...
It was on the Wii U too, though.
Okay, but aren't they really the same?
No, one's not a peripheral.
I mean, it's also a little sad because it's kind of like that's the end of the Wii U or the Wii. Sorry, that's the end of the Wii. Like it's passing the torch on to the Switch now. It's like Wii is finally, because they weren't gonna let that one go because the Wii U failed hard. So they're like, keep this one alive. We're good. But now that the Switch is doing it
on live support, it's all up to that point. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep. So
It sold what we looked that up the 105 million.
1 million.
How many?
We get Wii's traded in all the time. No one wants to buy the damn things.
Because they got the Switch now. I mean, this thing is just incredible.
So some people don't even have the Switch. They just like want to trade it in. It's like, yeah. Can I get $100 off on a PlayStation? And it's like, no, you get like $20 off.
$100 off PlayStation.
It's like,
It amazes me though, if you really think about it. Like when we had the Wii, we were all excited anyway because of the technology that was there, and you had that light bar that was about this long that you had to put certain place whatever in order to be able to register it, and now the machine they've got now just does it anyway, and they're like, oh, here's some cardboard, and if you form it a certain way you can do whatever you want with this cardboard, and use the Joy. Like, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Nintendo, and your magic.
Yes, I mean, when I'm playing Super Mario Odyssey, my hands just sit on my lap, and I just kind of flick my wrist while I'm playing. Like, I don't have to like hold it up or anything. They just sit comfortably, and it's such a good size too. It just fits perfectly in my hand, and I just kind of do all the tricks just by moving my fingers. It's like,
see, I have a bad habit of sitting down like this, so I actually will sit on the couch. My left arm will be over this way, my right arm will be over this way, and then that's how I do it.
Yeah, like I mean. You can sit any way that you want. It's a weird, minute little thing, but I mean that's just what it is now.
We played Overcooked with my sister this weekend though, and which, by the way, if you still haven't bought Overcooked because we haven't sold you on it, do it. We bought the DLC for $5 and spent 2 nights playing it. It was so good. But I've been playing with the Pro controller because the Joy-Cons are too tiny for me. But
you're not dexterous enough.
They're so small, okay?
You gotta be
trying
dexterous.
To hold it sideways because there's 3 of us, so we have one playing with one Joy-Con, the other playing with the other, and I had the Pro controller. And we swapped because for one level it split me off, and there was just too much going on for me to try to handle. So I swapped controllers with Chicken, and he had the one that had the little plus button right here, and so we were playing, and I kept pausing the game on accident because it's so tiny that while I was
Like
trying
I
to
said,
hit the button to chop things, it would
You
like,
have to become dexterous.
it's
You gotta
so
use the tips of your
small.
fingers.
What do you mean?
Look at that.
Dexterous.
How do you
He
think
said my hands are too big. I have grown-up people hands.
Okay, my hands are bigger than yours.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's magic on your end. Like my
It's
sister, I
dexterity.
understand because she has tiny hands.
Well, I'm gonna tell her
But-
you said that.
Well, no, she's tiny. I make short jokes about her all of the time, and I have since we were like 10, because she's always been like so tiny compared to me. But she holds it just fine. But I mean, I kept hitting the button on accident for pausing because it's so close. Because they're so little. They're so
Because
little.
it's dexterity. You gotta be
I
able
feel
to.
like you have to have like little. You have to do it like this with your little index fingers because
you
else
just-
you're just gonna push all the buttons.
No, you just gotta know,
I don't
like,
have
just
this issue, Grif. You're
you-
the only one.
you just gotta push the little buttons.
But they're so tiny.
You push all the buttons. Like you get your whole thumb on top and just hit all four at
So
one time.
tiny. So tiny.
And that's why I got a pro controller.
Yes, this is the only way I can do things. Like, it's fine if they're on the Switch. It's still a little small as far as the buttons and the thumbsticks go, but it's okay. But if you're holding just one Joy-Con to play things, oh my god. End of the world for me. It's over.
First world problem. My controller's too small.
Too funny.
Sorry.
Too funny.
Well, now we all know that I have giant hands.
I have bigger hands than her, so you can call
It's
me a
true.
freak.
He does have really big hands.
We talked a little bit about Xbox, of course. We're going to give some Sony news, which is some odd Sony news to have. In Chicago, they passed a law called an amusement tax, and which affects Netflix, anything that's a cloud-based streaming service. PlayStation is the one that's now being charged a 9% cloud tax. So if you're part of one of their streaming services, then you get an extra 9% tax added to, I guess, your monthly bill.
That sucks.
Yeah. The interesting thing to me is they said that it is probably going to end up being to where PC, Xbox, Nintendo will all end up having to do the same exact thing. So it's not just it's not something that's going to be exclusive for Sony, but it's affecting them
So
first.
Sony's just
Well,
jumping on board. Or
Yeah, they're just kind of not fighting it. But I gotta say, the weird thing is, I had to pay tax on a game I just bought on Steam.
Yeah, that's new.
Yes, it depends on where
Yeah.
depends on where you're from and where the
And,
game
I-
is coming out.
I pay tax on Steam all the time.
Yeah, I don't. I just I bought Darksiders 3 and I had to pay tax on it. I was like, "What the hell is this tax on my Steam games? What are you doing to me?"
Yep. Yeah.
I kind of really hate that we're gonna start taxing things like amusement and fun will now be taxed. Guys, the world's a really, really shitty place right now. Can you please not make us more miserable by charging us even more for our tiny, tiny, tiny bit of escape that we get from the garbage of the real world?
Well, but here's the thing too: is they've got to figure out a way to make sure that they are making money that they're going to lose. And what I mean by that is this: if you buy a physical copy like this,
Right.
you're going to be taxed locally, right?
Right.
Right.
So if everything starts to go digital, which it's moving towards the digital, they've got to figure out a way to make that revenue back in some way. So we use Chickens, for instance, when he was talking about buying a game and they're charging him tax. I'm okay with that because I know that money's got to be made up in another way for the local area. But it depends on where it goes to, too. Like if that tax that he's paying is going to, I don't know, California, there's no reason for him to be charged tax if he's sitting in Alabama.
Yeah, it should go to
but
my
now
state.
If it goes to your local state, you're going, okay, at least I know my state's getting it, everything else. But
At least I know my state's getting it to use for something fucking frivolous and stupid because, geez.
Well, I know, but what's weird, though, is what's interesting to me about the Chicago one is it's not the entire state. It's only the city of Chicago. And that's what I find weird about that one. And I get it, they have a high population, one of the most populated towns in the U.S., but it doesn't make sense to me on why it's not just the state that would do that. So and I feel it's interesting, and I'm interested to see where that ends up going because it's being challenged now. Apple's challenging them. I'm sure Google's going to end up challenging them as well.
There's a lot of lawsuit legal matter already happening with that stuff. It's just like the article said, Sony's just the one that didn't fight it and jumped on board, whereas everybody else is like, we don't want that.
Sony,
because they don't have the
Netflix,
money
and
to pay
Spotify
for
have
it.
all jumped on board. Sony, Nintendo, and Spotify have all jumped on board for it. So, well, we'll definitely keep an eye on that story as it develops because I foresee this one going on for quite a few months before it's fully resolved one way or the other.
And I think I get it. I mean, you have to have revenue in some way in order to be able to pay for things that your city does on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. But you would have to justify me on why.
I just feel like
how that's
taxing
affecting
something that is a non-item thing is insane to me. It is something that is not a physical item that is being brought through state borders and whatnot. It's just a digital something or another.
Because it's still a product.
I get it. It's just hard to wrap my mind around taxing something
but that's the age we're living in now.
From you.
In a perfect world, that tax would go to making sure that our internet it runs properly. Like that.
It doesn't. It goes to politicians' pockets because we live in such a great place.
Like if our digital tax made it so that our digital world ran better, then I'd pay tax on everything that I did online. I'd be like, all right, cool. Just make sure that my internet always works perfectly all the time. Okay.
Good luck.
Digital tax.
Well,
like I said, a perfect world.
Well, considering we have Comcast, it would be before long they'll have their own tax added onto everything that we have.
You have to pay us tax.
That's a tax. Netflix, that's a tax.
Yeah, every time you search something, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to charge you a penny for that. No, you will not. I will create my own internet. I'll find my own way online.
Countries have done that. I mean, some of those countries where the internet is too restricted.
A lot of people are starting to do it too, starting up their own internet services.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is complicated and it's not. You just have to create your own road to the internet, and then you gotta make sure that your road can withstand the amount of traffic.
Well, let's not get into the logistics of creating our own internet, everybody. That's what we're here for. What else do we want to talk about?
Well, the other Sony one is Final Fantasy 15 DLC has been canceled, and he's the president or something. Hajime Tabata quit Square Enix.
He was the game director, I think.
The game director, the big dog.
Yeah.
Quit. Like, it doesn't say fired, doesn't say resign.
I wonder why.
Quit.
Like, I really want to know what went down there. Because it seemed like things were going so well. I mean, Final Fantasy 15 was huge. It did really well. The DLC was highly anticipated. And he's just like, all right, bye. Well,
it says he left for personal reasons and is with regret to see the departure of such a talented staff member who applied themselves on Final Fantasy 15. Like, what in the world? Well, I don't know. If it's a personal reason, I hope it's not bad.
What I don't understand is like, okay, this guy leaves Square Enix and Luminous Productions, and they go, well, fuck it, we can't do anything. I'm like, did he not have a whole team, or was this guy sitting in a cubicle, like, doing the entire DLC himself?
No, they had a team to work on it. They just canceled the DLC because if you bring somebody in, a new director that late, every director's going to want to put their own personal flavor on it, but you have a very established, and Square Enix has always been this way about Final Fantasy, they have a very established way that they're doing this Final Fantasy entry. You don't want somebody else's flavor on something that's pre-established in that world.
I guess when was this DLC set to release? Does anybody know?
I don't even know if it had a release date or if it was just...
Because if it didn't have a release date, what you're saying makes sense. But if it did, then you just promote somebody within that knew what the vision was.
It was 3 DLCs that were canceled. One is going to be released, but...
Okay.
Which one is
it
that's going to be released? Because it was going to be... Luna was going to have one. Noctis was going to have one. I think Arden was getting one.
Yeah, Arden was going to get one. And then...
See, I just don't see...
Aranea.
Oh, yep, that's right. Aranea was going to get one.
Yeah,
which I thought they were neat, because all of the DLCs gave you, like, introspective on the character that they were focused on, which was pretty fucking cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that was incredible. That's a good way to do DLC. Like, you got the 3 episodes for the 3 main characters, and then the next set was going to be Arden, Aranea, Luna, and Noctis was going to be the last one.
So you were only getting 1 of 4.
You're only getting the first one. You're not going to get to see Aranea. You're not going to get to see Luna Freya or Noctis.
So we just get Arden. Which Arden's episode was probably already finished, and he's a big pull in the fandom for some reason. Like, I don't know
That's
why
good.
everybody gravitates towards him, but he's popular.
Because his voice actor is pretty fucking awesome.
Well, yeah, but he's still the character himself. You know, I won't spoil it.
I feel like
for
he's
anybody.
a little bit of a. I feel like he's a bit of a tragic character.
I guess so. I guess that's
Tragic,
why people
evil
like him.
character. You know, it's been out long enough. We could say some things, but
Well, I'm sad that we will not be getting those.
you and me both.
Yeah, I hate it for everybody that's played through the games, was looking forward to those 4, and then now it's like, and here's 1, tease.
I mean,
You know?
Really
I guess,
like an Aranea one. God damn it.
I am pretty happy that we did get Prompto, Gladio, and Ignis, though. I mean, those were the kind of major ones, and I would have loved to have had the Luna one because we did not get to see her enough in game.
Oh, she needed one. Like, all of them needed these hopefully they can finish them up and release them, but I mean...
Well,
Unless that dude comes back, they probably won't.
No.
It'll sit in the back burner.
That's heartbreaking. That game was heartbreaking. It's heart-shattering.
yes.
But yeah, that's what's going on in the Sony world. So I guess we'll make a full loop and come back to PC. A lot of us play Overwatch quite significantly.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The next, for everybody who plays Overwatch, and if you're on limited internet, get ready because the next major patch is going to require.
Holy crap! Something's broken now.
That was a dog
that,
wagging.
The dog shaking himself. He just got up from a nap.
Okay. Carry on. Next big patch.
The next big patch is going to require you to reinstall the entire game.
I'm glad that I had already heard that news, or else drinking the coffee whilst you said that would have involved a spit take. Because what now? Yeah.
Which is super weird because normally they don't ever do this, but I
it's
know
because
why.
I've heard that it's because the spectator mode is going to need an overhaul of the basically the heads-up display and everything. Like, all of your player interface needs a complete update in the back end to accommodate how to use the spectator system.
Absolutely. That is why the World Cup viewer was a separate client in itself. Because basically they've got these Lego pieces that they can't put on this one. They have to basically take what we're using now and put it on the new Lego pieces and then bring that in. So it's going to be good for the long run, but it's going to be very inconvenient for some people.
the update happens, is it one of those things that we're just going to see it draw out and then redo it, or is it one of those?
Well, usually what it will do is it will download it, and then it will basically overwrite the other one, which in times can cause complications because if certain files do not overwrite properly, then you will be stuck with 2 broken versions of the game, and then you'll have to manually uninstall and reinstall the game.
Well, that's what I was wondering, is to prevent anything like that, should I previously, before this patch, just completely uninstall and let it reinstall at the patch?
I mean, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea, because it's always nice to do full clean installs where you just remove everything, clean out the shelf. All right, new game comes in, it's fresh, it's good, you're ready to go.
Do we have a date for it? There is no date. Oh my god, I need
date.
to know so that I can do this.
They said that
they
they
would be soon though. She's on the PTR.
Oh, Ash? No. They were giving us way heads up. They're like, in a while, we're going to be releasing a major patch. We will give everybody plenty of warning when this patch is going to come out so that everybody can make proper setup. So.
Well, as long as I get a heads up so that I can uninstall.
Or they're just trolling the hell out of us, turn around and go, and there's going to be a major update, and when it happens, this is what's going to happen, and we're not going to tell you when.
I would be so mad because mine's set up for automatic updates too. So be like, I'm in the middle of something. What's going on? Why is my everything lagging so badly? Oh my god, is it uninstalling?
Like with the Heroes game, me and Chick were playing. Steam was like, yeah, these things need to update now.
Yeah.
See, I turned off Steam's auto update because it kept doing that. It just random times that it decided to update random games, and I'm like, nope, we are not doing that. I will decide when you can be updated.
Well, maybe because I'm on the Wi-Fi, I've been trying to keep Steam off if I'm playing Blizzard games or something.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do that, and yeah, I forgot it was open when I went to go play Heroes because I was tired and not thinking and checking it in.
Yeah, I felt the fucking lag. I felt the lag from his end.
I was the healer, and
Nobody
I was
got
like,
healed.
oh my god, I can't move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Rough
that's
times.
coming up, and that's gonna be crazy. It'll be nice to have spectator mode, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
The next article is similar to jumping on the Blizzard bandwagon. Well, I guess I'm not going to say Blizzard, but Lord of the Rings Online is going to take you back to its original launch and do Lord of the Rings classic.
yeah.
Classic everything.
Which I think is cool. Like, the trailer looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, I played the game back in 2007, like when it came out. I played it for a little while. It was a lot of fun. Reminded me of a lot of WoW.
Wasn't it one of the
Doesn't
ones
it?
that when it first got on, like, you had to update your freaking computer because it was, like, above the level of what everybody's normal computer was at?
Yeah.
I didn't have anything like that when I did it, but
My game ran like crap, but most of my games ran like crap back in 2007 anyway. That was before I upgraded the first time. But yeah, the game was a lot of fun. Granted, I don't think they're going to be doing it right because they plan on releasing the new classes and the new races.
So they're releasing
and
all
bug
of the new
fixes
content with the.
and game. Yeah, they're going to have classic Lord of the Rings, and then they're going to pretty it up with new gameplay mechanics and new races and classes
That's
and
not
a
really
new user
classic, though.
interface. It's
That's
franken
basically
classic.
taking all of the stuff you have now and only like scaling back the world to only the original world state.
Like I said, it's franken classic. Me. Me.
Not true classic.
But it'll be $15 a month because you have to have the VIP access to play it, which is the same thing with Blizzard. You got to pay $15 a month to play Classic. But you get 2 full games for it, so there's that. So if you're looking forward to that, it'll be out, I don't know. When did they say? They don't have a date on it. It'll be out at some point.
Yes, it will.
Well,
We're going to piggyback off that one into the next Blizzard news.
yep, piggyback that one right back into the next Blizzard one. Last week we talked about Did we talk about?
We talked about BlizzCon. Everything
Yeah, I
BlizzCon.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but
including the Diablo.
Yeah, but did we talk about how there were rumors going around that they removed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So this one said Blizzard refutes that it reported to plan the Diablo 4 BlizzCon reveal. So they
Which
came
I
out and
think
said
is
that we're not
worse.
going to. Yeah, like
That
I
means
think it's
that
so much
Blizzard
worse.
decided internally that it was a good idea to come to BlizzCon with just an announcement about a Diablo mobile game, and that's it. There was literally no other plan. Just, hey guys, I think that they'll all really be excited about us just giving them this mobile game.
From
and they hyped it up.
Company that even that China hates as far as mobile games.
They
Yeah,
really.
they're not even the ones making it, which is so much worse.
Blizzard should have been like, yeah, we had totally planned to announce Diablo 4 stuff, but we just didn't get to, you guys. That's exactly, you figured it out. You got us. Even if that's not the plan, you should not have said we had no other plan.
Like, here's what's... They're sitting in a board meeting, okay? Everybody's in this board meeting after the shit hits the fan, right? They're all turning around and going... Everybody has phones. I don't know why these guys are all mad. And then some guy turns around and goes, you know, they think we were supposed to actually be doing a Diablo 4. Why don't we just tell them we had it planned like they thought, and we'll go, sorry guys, we just didn't have the footage to show you. We apologize for that. We'll show you something soon. And that'll be cool. And then somebody goes, nah, let's just tell them the truth. We never had shit to do, so let's go ahead and send that release
I just,
out.
like,
Or they threw the other guy out the window.
Right?
Yeah, they definitely threw the
honestly,
other guy out the window.
It was like Blizzard fell, like they tripped walking somewhere, just tripped into this hole. And there was somebody there who was like, oh no, you fell. Here's a towel to wipe yourself off. And they took the towel, threw it down, and said, we don't need this, then rolled in the mud and kept going. It's like, somebody tried to save you. The fans inadvertently tried to give you an out. We had such faith in you that we tried to give you the honest benefit of a doubt that you were going to show us something and started a rumor for you that you could have just taken and run with. But instead, you just, no.
But this is going to be the main changing point, whether Blizzard cares about their fans or Blizzard cares about the consumers.
Yes. Is it about the money or is it about us?
Yeah, is it because the fans do not want this. The consumers in the Asian countries barely even want this.
Well, yeah, but you can make random money off of random people who aren't necessarily Blizzard fans and don't know anything about it when it hits the storefront, because those kinds of games, which this is just a clone of a Diablo knockoff anyway, those kinds of games are already popular. So you're hoping to make money off of people, I guess, that don't know anything about it, or people that are such fans. I have a feeling
it's going to get review bombed hard.
Oh, it is. It might not have, like, there might have been a way for them to save face and have avoided that had they taken the bait and said, yes, we had Diablo 4 announcements, but we couldn't. But since they're like, nope, this was it, you guys, it's totally a great idea, we had full faith in this, it's gonna get review bombed.
Like, I just wish there was... I wish I could shake the hand of the dude that was in those meetings when they were talking about what to announce at Diablo, who was like, we probably should announce something with, like, we should show off one of our other projects while announcing this. I think it'll go over a lot smoother if they kind of know that we're still working with them instead of just the mobile market. And then the guy's like, no, they'll be fine with the Diablo. It's like,
no.
Are you sure? Yeah, we'll be fine. No. All you had to do was fucking show a Diablo 4 logo or a Diablo 2 logo. That was it. That was it.
The guy that said that to everybody else was probably the dude that resigned 2 weeks before that as the president and left and goes, fuck all, Activision's going to take us over, have a nice day, and walk out the door. It's just a bad thing. It just really is. Compared to everything else that was announced that was on there and people were excited about, it would have just been perfect. And it goes back to what you said, which was all you had to do was show a logo.
Just
logo and music. Done.
I kind of almost feel like part of the reason Blizzard is pushing back on this specific thing so hard, and they were like, no, we didn't have anything else planned, is because they're trying to not be pushovers to their fans, maybe? But this is the wrong hill to die on, if that's the case. Like, I get that you want to stand up and be like, look, because with Vanilla, they made an offhanded comment, everybody wanted it, and finally they gave in to the crowd that wanted it and said, all right, we're going to give you this, we don't think it's going to be what you want when you get it. Like, you're looking at it with rose-tinted glasses, but we're going to do it anyway. So they were kind of a pushover on that front, and maybe they decided, we're going to push back this time, we believe in this product, so we're going to push back and not let anybody, tell us this was a bad idea. It's like, when a mass majority is telling you that it is a bad idea, it might very well be a bad idea.
The current president is the one that said that about Vanilla. Like, the one who is acting now, he was the one that answered that question.
Yep.
You guys, what do you think about Vanilla? You guys think you want Vanilla, but you actually don't. And then they made his ass walk out on stage and announce Vanilla.
Yep.
Like you talk about perfect karma circle. Oh, you don't want it. I guess you guys do want it. I guess here you go.
But I mean, he's still very much stood by his statement of you're probably not gonna like it when you get it because it's not what you remember, or you're remembering it very fondly, and that's not how it's gonna be once you play. Which a lot of us are being very realistic about Vanilla, but I see where he's coming from, and he has kept that stance. He's like, we're doing this, we're giving it to you because you want it. I just don't think that you're gonna want it as much as you think you want it.
I mean, I didn't play too much of the beta. I got in there and I played. Everything kind of works like it did. But I'm very afraid of investing a lot of time until I can guarantee my progress and I don't have to worry about just putting in false time. Because I've done that too many times in games. So I just got in there, toyed around.
One of them.
That one still hurts me to this day.
Yeah. I just wish that Blizzard would stop shooting itself in the foot with this Diablo issue. Like, I wish that we could be done with this, but we still have to wait for the game to come out, and then this is going to kick right back up as soon as it launches.
Oh, hell yeah.
So...
It's basically letting the mud settle, and then as soon as it comes out, they're going to fucking just rip some wheels in it and just splatter it everywhere.
The analogy.
Yeah. It's a very vivid mental image in that.
Right.
But he's not wrong.
Right.
I mean, let's
Shit
be honest.
is going to be everywhere.
Yeah. I just can't believe I can't believe they thought this was a good idea.
Well, and here's the thing. Now at this point, if you're sitting in the room and you go, okay, whoever the fucking idiot was that just said that we didn't have anything else planned for this, okay, I'm throwing you out. Thank you. Rest of us need to have a conversation. Guys, the mobile game's got to come out because we've already announced it and we know it's a thing. We're already paying money into this. Fine. But day before this bitch is released, give me a trailer for Diablo 4 to present and push it out as much as I can to at least people are excited about the fact we're working on Diablo 4. Because they're going to tank the hell out of our reviews either way, but it might be a little better if they know that there's something else coming.
Yeah, I mean,
because they might forget.
Ain't that the truth? This comment, too, all they had to do was show us a damn logo, like Nintendo did with Metroid Prime 4. Like,
Yep.
all they did was, like, here's a logo. And then the fucking crowd just screams, and that was, like, what, 2 years ago? And it was
that was
fine.
when the Switch came out. I'm still waiting for the damn game.
And you're still hyped up. All you're sitting there going like, oh man, thinking about Metroid now. I can't wait for it to get it on the Switch because you know it's going to be good. Everything else that's come out for the Switch has been good.
I need to go through and get my Metroid Prime for the Wii and then play that.
Hell yeah, that'll hold you over until then. But that's all they had to fucking do. I don't understand why the PR people or the people working at Blizzard just did not like at all think about, hey, what if we put a logo up on one of our projects? Maybe that'll hold them over. Because the PC crowd, that's everybody here. We're all part of the PC crowd. I'd be very surprised if any like exclusive Blizzard console players went to BlizzCon. That's
I mean, I don't
the
know.
only thing they would have would be Diablo 3 and Overwatch.
Yeah.
Right?
exactly.
But
So,
Overwatch had their finals there, so I could see people who having gone specifically for that and to see what all of the hubbub is about the rest of it.
yeah,
you
I mean,
know.
I could guess that. There's probably a couple of them, but I would not expect
Well,
them
and
to.
the advantage too is you've got a lot of people don't know this. Blizzard's been very supportive of Mac gamers, up until Overwatch, who was produced by Activision. If you remember correctly, it's on the back of the logo, and Activision's actually the one that does it. That game is still not available for Mac, so everybody that's a Mac user has to do what we call boot camp, which allows us to be able to run Windows on a Mac. And I'm like, all their games are going to end up being this way to where it's like that company as a whole is not going to support that. It's like, if they are not supporting people that have been gamers of theirs for so long, it does not surprise me they've made the decision to this. And not only did that, decided to go, and this is really what we had planned the whole damn time. You know, that company, I don't know. I mean, there's certain things that I'm proud of them for, like them letting us know ahead of time that the next update for Overwatch is going to be a complete swap out. Things like that. That's good customer service. What they did on that particular day, I just can't. I don't understand. I don't understand it. And to turn around and say this shit does not make sense whatsoever.
Maybe they're trying to kill the Diablo franchise, and maybe because honestly, if you played the third one, I mean, how many times have we destroyed that damn soul gem?
Oh, that's true. I mean, the only reason...
That's why it needs a prequel. Just saying. There's plenty of lore before Diablo 1. Let's go back that way.
Fair enough.
What else we got? I gotta record. I'm behind.
Two moderate articles. One is a leaked photos suggest Valve is working on their own VR headset.
Not even
Which I thought
surprised.
Which I'm surprised. I thought Vive was theirs. Like I thought they just...
Vive is the HTC.
Well, I knew that, but I thought they were in partnership with them, like to create it.
They were
Could
like
push-
licensing, I think.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
they still are kind of like. To me, I wouldn't be surprised if they're just kind of like working together with something like this, but it's going to be Valve's one. And what some of the articles, which I completely agree with, is we got to be careful with this. We cannot separate the VR market too far. Like, we can have as many different peripherals, but the games need to work on them all. Just choose whatever weapon that you want. Just
it
try
doesn't
to make
need
sure that you keep the games together.
You don't want VR wars.
Yes, not at this early stage. Need to share the technology because I've only played with it once and I thought it was really fucking cool, and I'm still waiting because I think, in my opinion, I think VR is the future. I think eventually we're going to get to the point of where it's going to be just unparalleled in the technology era.
Well, right now, Vive is the only one that's continuing to make product other than.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Oculus stopped the Oculus 2.
Yep.
So yeah, we have the HTC Vive Pro, and then whatever this one is going to be, which some people might be the next HTC one too. It's just Valve's working on it heavily.
Maybe.
And also rumors, source allegedly confirms that the headset may be bundled with knuckle controllers as well as a Half-Life VR game.
That'd be neat.
That's the Half-Life VR game is wishful thinking, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the knuckle controllers are pretty neat because
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Half-Life VR confirmed. I'm not confirming, but I think the knuckle controllers are going to be the next stage of development where
They
you
look
kind of
really
just put
cool.
gloves
Like
on.
the way this is designed.
Yeah, I was about to say
really.
it's getting closer to just being gloves, like tactile
Exactly.
gloves.
And eventually it'll just get to the point of where it'll just scan you, and then it can like have full sensors about how your body moves. Or if you want to do what they do in Sword Art, kind of have it link up to the back of your neck, where it intercepts your brain signals to where you just think it.
See, then you run into the Sword Art problem, which is somebody hijacks the whole MMO that you're playing, which means you're all just a bunch of vegetables until they release you.
I mean, that's technology, though. It's scary
That's
as
Matrix
fuck.
bullshit right there.
Yeah. But, I mean, if it could eventually come to the point where it intercepts your brain impulses, then, I mean, you could be in-game, fully functional, fully controlling of your own, virtual body. Like, I
Get
think
into some dangerous territory right there, though.
we're already in dangerous territory. The Manhattan Project, yeah, that shit was dangerous territory, too, but we kept going along. The
Well,
future is dangerous.
But you think about it. Ideally, Nintendo would be the one that's got the closest technology to make that happen, based on the fact that they took a controller that we used to have a light bar for. No longer have to do that. Now it registers wherever we're doing whatever we're doing based on that information that's there.
Yeah, but
Only
those
they
are
would
more
work with
like a
somebody.
widespread. Like, I know it works with like flicker your wrist kind of things too, but it's not as precise as being able to do this and then.
I'm talking about
I'm talking
about the body part. The part that scans your whole body.
Yeah, like, I mean, eventually, I'm gonna give it like
Headband.
15 years. Oh man, just put a headband on your armbands and put them on your ankles, and then you just kind of sit there, and then you just you go into the virtual world.
That's right.
Yeah, but I'm thinking.
And
how
now
much
think of the
space do
marketing
you have?
ploys on that one. Everybody's like, "Oh, I gotta have the purple ones," because everybody's about cosmetics, right?
Yeah, but you can't
This
see
is
it
the
when you're in the
future.
VR stuff.
It
This
doesn't
is
matter.
the future. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. This is the future, people. This is where technology is heading. I mean, we have a bunch of real life issues that people still deal with. Once we get those sorted out, we'll focus on.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me
Science and
just sort
technology.
out all of our real world bullshit first.
Well, we'll all live in the Oasis, right?
Exactly.
Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly. We're just gonna live in the virtual world.
Too funny.
Uh,
All right. Last article, which is very sad.
Yes.
For those of us who've been gaming for a very long time. Strategy guide maker Prima Games is shutting down after 28 years. Most of you
my
know
my age. They're as old as I am, and they're dying.
if you go into any of the stores or whatever that sell video games and stuff, a lot of times you would always see these in there. And actually, I think GameStop even started pushing them when you would buy a new game and stuff.
They
for a little while.
tried, but
I remember that for a little while.
They haven't tried to push those in a while.
yeah, it's been a
'Cause
while. I think
with the online, everyone just either watches other people play it
Well,
or
that's
do
it.
YouTube videos.
that top comment on the article, they did well to survive this long, really, considering how easy it is to look up the sort of stuff they publish online. Because, I mean, I'm not going to spend $20 on a strat guide that I could just, like, Google exactly what I'm looking for. And sometimes strat guides don't exactly tell you what you need to know either, because some of it's still just the mystery of discovery and whatnot. But some of it, like...
I think we have a Fable 2 Prima strat guide in there.
We've got a
if I'm not
Halo one
mistaken.
as well, because they got...
several.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
got
picked up a
the-
few because they got pennied out, which is what GameStop does when they're basically throwing stuff away, is they put it for 0 cents and sell it to themselves. And so I just ended up picking up a few of them that way because otherwise they were like $20+.
I
But I could
got
look it
a
up
Witcher
online.
3 one that's one of the collector's edition ones. It looks like this really cool.
Yeah. I think
Novel,
there's a
basically.
difference between your normal strat guide, which you're going to look up stuff, or a collector's edition that comes in a pretty thing with extra like concept art and stuff like that in it. And I think those still have a place because people buy those for collectors, but
unfortunately, I think that's where, if you read the article, one of the comment the guy made is several people tried to redo what we were doing inside the company in order to help the company survive. It just didn't work to that degree.
yeah.
So it will be interesting to see if another company comes around that does specific ones like that are, for bigger games.
There's another company besides Prima though that is strat guides. I don't remember the name offhand, but I'm sure I'll think of it later.
So I hate that because I think we all have used one or two at a time.
My
I
parents
legitimately had
always
never
used-
actually used a Prima strat guide. Like, I never cracked the cover
I had a
to try
Paper
to-
Mario one. I had a Paper
Yeah,
Mario
my
one.
my parents always use strat guides. So like all the Zelda games, I've got strat guides and stuff for them. That's just right now they're all sitting packed in boxes, but they always use. I even started showing them, look, you can just look this up online, and they're like, I have the book.
This right here, this is the end of an era.
Yeah.
This is it. Like, people don't need paperback anymore.
But as you
That's-
stated with the previous story, this is the future.
Yep.
And in your future, we will hit a point where if you want to look at a book, it will be a digital book where you will just
Yep.
flip the pages digitally.
Speaking of that, I think Samsung is the one that's going to do it, but they have a foldable phone. Basically, you can fold it, and then you can just kind of open
mean
it,
it's a
and it
flip
works
phone?
perfectly fine.
I mean, we've had those. They're called flip phones.
Except it's like a book now. It's like a book, a digital book.
So
where
it's a flip Kindle.
Well, the
Yeah.
the screen
But
is
it's the
it
folding
starts out
technology.
like, so something like a phone size, and then it flips open, and so it's
Yes.
bigger.
Yeah, it's like double the size of the screen now, because we've always had this discussion of how big is too big for a phone. Well, how about if you can just fold it? Well, now you could fucking have a phone screen twice that size, but you just fold it and slide it in your pocket now.
Yeah,
It's like
back
a
to
tablet where you
flip
just
phones.
fold. Yep. Except it'll just be one giant screen.
I wonder if we'll ever come back to like the old candy bar phones that were like this big and just, yeah.
Yes, we will. Eventually, it will be to the point of where it'll create a hologram, where you just press a button and it creates this like hologram where you can just like have a big as big of a screen as you want, and you
Like,
can
slow
work on
your
that.
future roll down a little bit here. I'm not ready.
Well, get ready, because technology does not slow down, and it has not. The last 40 years.
True that.
It's all that alien tech that we stole.
Yeah, definitely.
Aliens. My hair's not big enough for it. Aliens. I love Giorgio. Shut up. Anything else? Do we have anything else to talk about this week?
That's it.
I
That's
think
it
it's
for
good.
me.
We do appreciate everybody each and every week hangs out with us at Infinite Respawn. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at Infinite Res PC. You can check me out personally at MDB Oaktree. You can check out Chicken.
At Elite Chicken 313.
I know, I messed you up.
Yeah.
You can check out Grif.
At Grif Slidem?
Check out Baka.
At Baka.
Also, make sure that you go to Grif's YouTube. Are you still doing Silent Hill 2? Or
Yeah, I'm I think I'm close to the end. I think I'm in the last area, but I just got there, so.
Okay. Make sure you watch those. She's fun to get scared and watch. Be scared.
It's fun to get scared, be scared.
I'm terrified.
Also, make sure you go to twitch.tv/EliteChicken313, where you can watch Chicken stream Sunday through Thursday. It's usually around 8 p.m. Eastern time, and possibly some day streams maybe starting soon as well too. So make sure you follow him on that Twitter so he can let you know when that starts. Also, the Discord that she'll have linked below, you can hit on that, and that'll also give you that same information because I go straight to Chicken's Discord. And then also make sure you go to mixer.com/MDB Oaktree. Check me out as well. I try to stream every day that I can. It's not a regular schedule, but when I do, it's usually around 9 p.m. Eastern. And other than that, I think we're good. Grif and Respawn. I'm Oaktree.
I'm Grif.
I'm Chicken.
I'm Baka.
See ya.
Bye.
Please hang up and try again.